Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Terry Morrow and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hi.
Usually on this podcast we talk about parenting issues, but once a week Catherine and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week we're continuing with our double dose of dancing with Baby Ballroom, and first up, Dancing with the Stars, the finals!
Oh my God.
So, yay, the finals! And boo, the finals! And
it was such a fun show up until the last 30 seconds.
reeled me in. I, despite all evidence to the contrary, allowed myself to believe that Justina could win, and then fourth place.
They really just, the results were exactly backward from what I had wanted and you had wanted.
I completely agree.
Justina was fourth, Nelly was third, Neve was second, and then Caitlin the Bachelorette came in first for the second season in a row, a Bachelorette. Come on.
Yes, I just do not approve. And it doesn't help that the Bachelorette's victory came shortly after a really trashy promotional from the Bachelorette that looked just awful and just made it seem like such an embarrassment. And then,
yay!
There
she is.
I mean, I'm happy for Artem. He has never won. I would rather that the pro who had never won would be Sasha, but it was not to be. But I never connected with her anyway. I didn't care for Hannah that much last season either. And ick in general for the Bachelorette. And 2 Bachelor wins 2 seasons in a row is not good.
It's really
I don't think. For the show, attracting anybody who's not interested in the Bachelor. And also, I think it gets forgotten. I guess, was Bobby Bones the season before Hannah? We came very close to getting Grocery Store Joe victory in that. So he just kept hanging on and hanging on and hanging on. Also, everybody complains about Bobby winning based on votes, but at least he was trying. Joe looked like he had been ambushed and forced. Perhaps they had one of his family members in a dark room somewhere to make him continue in this thing. And yet he went very far. So obviously Bachelor Nation is a potent voting force. But stop having people from that franchise on. How about?
Or at least take a break.
Yes.
Give us a season off. How about?
Please. I say now, well, this will make it easier for me to just stop watching the show because I'm still mad about Tom, and I only watched it this season because of Justina, and they dashed my hopes at the last minute. But, they'll rope me in with somebody else next time. But still, can we not with the Bachelorettes next time, please?
Yes, please. They're just boring. The other 3 were all more entertaining. They really were.
Yes.
I thought Nelly's freestyle was a lot of fun. I thought Justina's freestyle was awesome. All at every Latin dance, she just did them all.
It was very fun. I had up on Twitter on my tweet deck the hashtag for Justina and Sasha and the hashtag for Nelly. So I was watching all their fans reacting to stuff all through the show, and they were so psyched right up till they had their hearts ripped out of their chests. But they were loving those. They loved her dance, the Justina people. And I did too. And I just loved them. And I'm so sad. And it's just a stupid thing to be sad about. So, of course, I'm not, but it's just, bleh. It was in many ways a very fun episode. And it was just such a blech ending to it. For me, the Caitlin fans, of whom there are obviously many, 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 are celebrating. And, God bless.
Right.
But I do think that the least exciting couple won.
For sure.
So I shall just appreciate the fact that Justina went out on a very exciting dance and that Nelly went out on his musical performance, which was like a little private concert for all the people who had made it through this season of Dancing with the Stars with all the precautions and everything. I just loved all the shots of the eliminated couples dancing up in the rafters there. Sharna was having the best time.
She really was.
That was so fun. And I think Bruno was sitting on the judges' table or something.
He was.
It was so funny. It just looked like they were it was like after a really long, tense time of work.
Right.
They were just having a party.
They were just letting go. Yeah.
I think that's just wonderful. That made me feel so good and so happy to see. And Daniela certainly made a splash her first season as a pro. So yeah. I think she will do well. She was really, really fun with him. I thought. Yeah. Boy, Sasha, I don't know what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
So close.
That was a shame.
Yeah.
The sort of opening number was fun, where they had a lot of the pros. And at first I thought it was just the pros who were like couples in real life dancing with each other.
Which they could easily do.
I mean, a lot of them were, but then there were others because, like Brandon and Keo and, Sharna, they were with each other instead of...
I kept saying, who is that pro with the short blonde hair? Did Daniela cut her hair? Who is that? Wasn't until they were walking off stage that I realized it was Sharna.
Yeah.
So confusing.
Fire engine red hair.
I'm still not used to it. She looks perfectly lovely, but my brain has not caught up to her current hairstyle. It was fun today. Emma was putting up a bunch of Instagram stories backstage and behind the scenes, and all the people on computers and all the stagehands and stuff, and all the things that were going on. It was, again, the same sort of feel, like coming to the end of a long work shift and everybody's just kind of kicking back. So they deserve their rest. They entertained us for a while.
Yes.
And the other fun thing about the finale is always all the people that you forgot were on the show.
Yeah. Jesse Metcalf, what?
I keep forgetting he was even here. And Carol Baskin put on social media today that she couldn't be there because of COVID restrictions. But, and also because really nobody cares.
Because nobody wanted to be there.
She didn't want to fly, I think.
I noticed that most everybody else managed to be there.
Yes. AJ had quite the outfit on.
Yes.
And why not? So it will be interesting to see when and if, I assume when, Dancing with the Stars comes back, if the current hosting situation continues, and if they can please give us a season without anybody from the Bachelor franchise. Perhaps not.
It's a big ask, but we're going to ask it anyway.
Yes. Well, maybe if they can have a bachelorette on who absolutely cannot dance, has no dance training, has never danced in a beauty pageant, has never done anything dance related, and will, crap out after 2 or 3 weeks. That'd be cool. No, but she won't, because the Bachelor Nation.
Because the people will vote for her. Yeah. I mean, she was a good dancer, but you gotta think that that's not why she won.
Yeah. To me, she was good, but not interesting.
Yeah. Agree.
Whereas, Nelly and Justina, well, Nelly especially, but also Justina, were not technically perfect, but were just a load of fun to watch.
Right.
And had, spirit and fire. And anyway, I'm sure she's perfectly lovely and good on Artem. And
just look at it.
Bummer.
Good on Artem.
And we'll just, in our memory, we will just flip the order of those placements.
That's right.
Those are our winners. We beg to differ. Please. Please allow us to differ.
With the voters of America.
Yes. So, much more small scale. Let's switch over to Baby Ballroom and further consider very young people acting like they're on Dancing with the Stars.
That's right. This show reminds me of, my husband sometimes watches those poker shows on, poker competitions. And every time it's like, it's the finals of this, or it's the grand championship of that. And I'm always like, well, what's the difference? Or, is there no structure to this? And that is sort of how I feel about these ballroom competitions. Like, every week, Warren from Zigzag is saying, like, this is a very important competition. This is, where all the top dancers come and compete. Everyone wants to go. Like, okay, but you said that last week about some other one.
At the beginning, it'll be like, they have to win this one to do this very important thing. And at the end, it's like, well, getting third or fourth was really good for them because of this reason. And I'm like, yeah, I appreciate that. That is the way I would want my coach to be. I would not want him ripping my head off when I already feel bad about losing. But at the same time,
yeah, it's a consistency issue.
Yeah, you're working with kids. That's the way you need to be. That's just, that's what parents do, Yes. All hopeful for you, honey. And then, oh, you did great. It was fine. This is good. You'll work harder next time. I hope I would not be that mom who was yelling at the judges.
Yes, she was.
I think Janie has more than just dancing to possibly be embarrassed about. But
well, and I was thinking of yes, Jamie's mom was the one who cursed aloud when he didn't place very well, but also Mia, the other Mia, who is older and dances. Her mother is.
But her mother yells at her.
Yes,
like she's dancing, and you're trying to put yourself in the mindset of ballroom dancing, and your mother's off to the side. Straighten up, do this, put your shoulders back. I'm surprised they're allowed to shout.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little league game,
Right.
Aren't you supposed to isn't it supposed to be very decorous and just watch these beautiful dancers float across even when they're cheering for their kids, it seems weird. It seems something that shouldn't. Now, at ice skating competitions, are people allowed to yell in the stands? I mean, allowed is not necessarily it because there's no, audience police, but do they?
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, they do, but the kids are much farther away.
Right.
They can't really hear it. And, in a lot of youth sports, sometimes it's discouraged or even prohibited because of parents doing dumb things like, yelling mean things at other kids that aren't their own, or yelling mean things at their own kids, or harassing the coach or the ref or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of bad behavior that goes on amongst the parents.
That's
and
rough.
most ice rinks I've been to have a sign that just says, like, these are children and everyone here is a volunteer. Shut your trap, basically. Yeah.
Well, they need those in the dance competitions, apparently, too. It's always so weird because they make it, as you say, they make them up to be this is this big, important competition. And then it's like there's people sitting at tables, like, right on the outside of the floor. They're not, in bleachers someplace or looking through a glass wall or, something. They're, like, sitting right by where the kids are dancing. Mm-hmm. It seems so informal.
Right.
And, I mean, are they sure a parent's not going to just stick their foot out and trip somebody?
Right.
It seems the fact that they bump into each other regularly, too, surely there's a better way to do this.
Mm-hmm.
They can't just come out and dance one at a time. They all have to be twirling around each other. I mean, I guess that's part of being in a ballroom.
I think that would be a timing issue.
I guess.
And also it does make it more challenging.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why with my daughter, when she skates on a team, it's that much harder when there's 16 people on the ice at a time instead of one.
Yeah.
So it just adds a level of difficulty.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a lot of, throwing elbows and deliberately bumping into somebody. Or, you pay somebody who's going to be the not going to place anyway to bump into your main rival for first place. Seems
a little Nancy Kerrigan situation going on.
Yeah. Oops. But, but at least Arjun was happy.
Yes. Yes. Always with more small children succeeding and fewer stage parents, and that would make me happy.
I enjoy the ones from Max and Olivia on down than I do the ones from Mia and Jamie on up.
Yes, agree.
So there's a break there in which it stops being something that gives them joy and starts being a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I agree. And also, did we need like a 10-minute segment on Warren goes to the gym?
What the heck was that?
Like, I get that they showed his daughter teaching a fitness class.
Yeah.
Just sort of showing, like, here's some of the ways that dance is important in her life and, the way it's already a career for her at age 17.
Yeah.
But who cares if Warren can do a push-up?
It's the comic relief, I guess. And they also had that extended little bit of Olivia's tennis-playing sister and let's go to the tennis court and play, which her sister seems perfectly nice, but who cares? This is dance. Right. We want to see more dancing.
Right, we're here for dancing.
More dancing, less tennis, but anything with Olivia is just adorable to me because
she is hilarious.
She is compulsively watchable, that girl.
Yes.
And she knows it, and she's on it,
Right. I just like when she tells Max what to do.
Yes.
You're... No, we're second.
I could watch that clip over and over for half an hour.
They will play it for you.
It's like, I know I should fast forward through the intro every time, but there's that bit of Max and Olivia. Perhaps I'll just stay for that.
They're funny.
Yeah. She's adorable. And
it was interesting to see that she gets her dresses sponsored.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, because I had kind of been wondering what are those little like tags that say DSI on their clothing. I thought it had to do with, identifying them at the competition, but that's the number they wear on their back. And it's not the name of the dance school.
Yeah.
So it turns out it is the clothing designer.
Interesting. Wonder if they sponsor them for the competitions or for the TV show.
Yeah, good question.
The whole TV showness of it is a little fraught.
Yeah, well, did you notice when they were talking with Jack's mom?
Yes.
She actually straight up mentioned.
She did. All the dancing.
He's filming a TV show.
Being on a TV show, and I'm like, oh yeah, he is. And that probably takes some time.
Right.
But he is just a barrel of wonderful also. What a little cutie. I really don't want to see 3 or 4 years down the road. How many years does this show go?
Right.
I don't want to see when he gets to be 12 and then he's, his mother is yelling from the audience. Straighten your shoulders!
Yes.
I wanted to just continue being lovely.
Keep him innocent.
Such a cutie. We did get a little bit more of the poor put upon middle triplet, or I don't know if she's the middle one. They always have her sitting in the middle, so that's the way I think of her. But the non-dancing triplet being made gentle fun of, or maybe not so gentle, when it's like, was it the Munsters where the normal girl was like the outcast?
Yeah.
I feel that way about her. Like, in any other TV show, she would be the reasonable one. And here she's like, they're like, look at her.
They're like, she went to a physics lecture. What a weirdo. Yeah. At least she kind of stood up for herself in this.
Yes.
In these where they were like, you can run the office. She's like, no, I'm not doing that. They're going to run the dance school. Well, you can work in the office. Nope. Yep.
I don't know. Those girls don't look happy to me, but.
Well, the one, her partner was being so mean to her.
Yes. I don't know. Yeah.
The one whose partner is not her boyfriend, the other one.
I thought both of their partners were their boyfriends.
I don't think so. I
hope not, because.
I think the redhead Thor is not her boyfriend, just her partner. But I could be wrong. They both live with them.
Thor.
Yes.
His name is Thor. Yeah, he doesn't seem like a barrel of laughs.
The other guy is a little, he seems sweeter. The Ukrainian one.
Yeah.
Russian one or whatever.
The only time I ever enjoyed watching either of those girls was when the blonde one was working with the little kids. That was pretty
Yeah.
She has a real rapport with them, and she seemed to be enjoying Jack a great deal. Even though he did not wish to cha-cha.
Right. What did they all have against the cha-cha? Remember in the other episode, it was that little Seb who was like, I'm not doing a cha-cha.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's hard. Maybe it's harder for them in some way. Or not as much fun. Mm-hmm. They're not into Latin. They want to do ballroom. I thought Latin was part of ballroom, but this shows what I know.
Yeah, it just seems like they're two separate competitive events.
Yes. But the further we go into this, the more anxious I get for those older kids. So they're all going to be older kids by the end of this, and maybe it will be I just get so nervous for them because it seems to mean so much. I mean, for the younger kids, yeah, it's great if they win, and it puts them in a better position for different things and whatever. But for the older kids, it seems like a disaster, pulls his hamstring or they get fourth or, it seems like the parents are much more intense about it and the kids are much more intense about it.
Yes.
But I guess it is future. At that point, it's like future career stuff. So you got to take it seriously.
Right.
But my husband walked through and scoffed at the whole thing and says, parents are terrible. They shouldn't be making them do this. And it's like, well, but, would you say that if it was Little League?
Yeah.
This is if your kid is good at something.
There's ways, because some of the parents they show are just like pretty game and along for the ride. I mean, it's mostly the parents of the little ones. Like,
right.
But even like Jamie's dad, the one where he injured himself. And
right.
He's like, I gotta he can't do this.
Yeah.
He seemed to be, he's taking it seriously because he's like, I have two jobs. One is at the brickyard or whatever, and one is running him around. But he didn't seem to be taking it out on the kid in the form of pressuring him.
Yeah. Yeah. That was good that he didn't, because if it had been Mia's mother, she would have just been spraying him down with something and saying, get your butt back on the ballroom floor.
Right. Get out there.
I'm glad. This is the sort of thing that makes me glad that my kids weren't particularly talented in anything, so I never had to deal with any of this. Because if they are. I was also thinking about, when I was I guess all through elementary school, I'm not sure if it went into junior high or not, I took a lot of dance lessons. I took ballet, jazz, and tap, and I think some of those might have been more than one day a week. So I was at the dance school a lot, and that was a big part of my identity, but I always knew that I was not one of the chosen ones. I was not one of the ones who goes to competitions, to whatever level they had competitions back then. I was one of the ones whose payments of my lesson fees paid for people to go do things.
You're right.
I was just not quite the cream of the crop, no matter how hard I tried. And when you look at these dance lessons at the Zigzag, you see a lot of kids that you never see in the competition things. So maybe that's the healthy way to do it. Go, have a good time, learn a little something, get some good exercise, but don't have the weight of the world on you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, next week we will finish up with season 1 of Baby Ballroom with episodes 7 and 8. Only 8 episodes in the season. Hopefully with some happy things. Well, they're going to win, right? Right? Those older kids are going to win, Catherine? Tell me they're going to win.
Let's hope.
They're going to get nice glass bowls and shiny medals.
Yeah. They're
not going to get injured or yelled at.
They're going to get a trophy that's bigger than a thimble.
Yes, please. They got to end it on a high note. They got to. Yeah. And since we're already finished with Dancing with the Stars, we are going to tango on over to The Voice, which for Catherine, anyway, is already in progress. Have you watched more than that one episode of it?
I have watched one more so far of the battle rounds.
Okay. Well, you'll have to explain it all to me because I will be jumping in mid-season as a complete newbie to the show. But we're going to follow it through to the end now. And that is going to be it for today's round 2. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Goodbye, Catherine.
Bye, Terry.
Goodbye, everybody.